I was so amped up to get this thing in the shop. It's like I had blinders on, you know? I was just looking at it for what I saw as potential. Once I got in the shop, I realized there was just so much ugly, I didn't know how to handle it. I never really had the opportunity to stand back and look at it that much. It was always under that carport. Once we got it outside in the open, you could stand back and look at it. And I don't know, it really doesn't have a good line. I loved the way that the taillights in the rear section looked, but that's because it was in a carport and you couldn't stand back and look at it. In my opinion, the big sore spot in the whole car is the rear of the roof. The longer I looked at it, I really started second guessing myself. Like maybe this wasn't the car at all to start with. I've never dealt with a roof that has this ugly hump in the back. So I'm gonna take the whole skin right off of the top of the roof. I'm gonna come in right about here, and the roof attaches probably about that far above the drip rail, and I know I'm gonna shave the drip rails. So I'm gonna take this whole roof cap right off, kind of like this. You can see it's got this little shape that's stamped in it, and that's where it all went wrong, in my opinion. This was good, and then something grew out of the back of the car. I'm gonna cut it right at that line, because it's not gonna have that anymore. You can see it's almost like the engineers in the factory were setting it up for a chop. I'm just gonna start by chopping the heck out of it. No plan. I think it looks better already. The standard procedure in cutting any car's roof off is to brace up the interior. You don't want the thing to shift. You want it to stay just as it is so the door is shut properly. I'm just not doing any of that. I've done enough metal work, I've cut apart enough cars to know what I can get away with. I think I can get away with it. Cutting off the top was the right call. Now I just got to figure out the roof line. My friend Tom is a graphic artist. He's done a lot of work for me in the past with t-shirts and other designs. I took a side shot of the car with the roof on and sent it to Tom, and just see what he comes up with. Maybe he's seeing something I'm not.
He sends it to me, and it's pretty rough. I see where the car has potential, and I try to bring it to life on the computer. When I had gotten to my final rendering of the Packard, I sent it to Ian, and I didn't know how he was going to react.
Tom's fast. I get an email back the same day of this rendering, and it's pretty cool. He took the windshield and he raked it forward. I've never seen that done before. Typically, if you chop a top, you may rake the windshield back, but this one was so slanted back, he moved it forward, and he put a nice slope in the rear of the roof line. Very cool design. The window opening now, without the rubber, showing 16, so it's probably about a 15-inch window. So I think I'm just gonna take a third out of it. I'm gonna take a 5-inch chop. I think a mellow chop is considered about 3 inches. This is a tall, ugly car. I'm just trying to help it out. I'm going for 5. Crazy thing about this Packard is the A-pillars are almost parallel as they go up. They're always kind of triangle shaped. You know, they taper towards the top of the roof. This one was straight. So now we'll see how much the mismatch is. It's negligible. So it made the chop really easy. I have my sneaking suspicions that the Packard designers probably drew the car like this, and then it got changed. Restructuring this roof skin and the frames surrounding the doors, and that's the line of the car. This is what makes it. I want to take this arch out of the rear window. The same idea as removing that big bulge that's in the back of the roof. This is a pretty risky move. I'm really taking all of the strength out of the whole side of the roof line. But I want this look, so I'm making all these pie cuts in it. It's gonna stretch out the rear portion to make it more streamlined. This is really gonna define what the car looks like, setting up these door frame surrounds. It's also a structural part of the car, so I'm just trying to use what I have, make a couple splices, and just come up with a shape that I like. My special envisioning tool. Ah yes, the cardboard envisioning tool. It's something that you don't see a lot, but everybody's got one. Just hold it up and look through. The whole idea with this envisioning tool is like blinders on a horse, right? You just see what you need to and carry on. My job is done here. This car is getting a full new paint job. So once I got the look of the roof established, I wanted it all to be one color. So instead of painting it, I'm just gonna take all the paint off. Aside from that front driver's side fender, everything else is pretty much intact. Big problem with this car is it's crashed. The whole front fender is creamed. Don says he's got one in his yard that's a replacement, and it just might make this thing a lot easier to finish. I'm really happy with the line of these two rails coming back from the A-pillar, and the big question mark is how the roof skin fits back on. I'm liking how the sides of the car are coming out, but I'm gotta get this roof skin on. Thinking maybe the original one will work, even though I don't want to use it. I think I'm just gonna put it on there and just check it out. Once I got it back on in place, it seems like it'll fit, but it's still got issues. You know, it was designed with this big bulge in the rear, and I'm trying to get away from that. Don came over to look at the car because I think he's kind of sitting there being a naysayer.
I don't see the envision that he does, you know? His creative mind is thinking, but my mind is not that creative. He got in deep with this project. I think it's a lot deeper than he thought he was going to get in with this project.
I'm really seeing the potential in this thing, but he's just not digging it. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I think it's going to convince him. I'm going to change the look once more. Ready?
You ready? Go for it.
This is the main part of what I don't like about the car, is this weird bubble back. Help me bring this up onto the windshield, and let's see how it's working there. That is freaking gangster,
nice
man.
Right there. He's changed the body lines on that top so much. It looks like a Merc. The way the top has cut it now and laid that window back, it's just looking way cool.
Uh-oh, there goes the neighborhood. What's up, man?
Wow.
Got a car.
This is the Packard, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't like that 4 days ago, remember?
So being excited about seeing this Packard underway, I gave Ian a call and I said, hey, I gotta come down. I gotta take a look at this thing. Being that I barely sent the artwork to Ian just a matter of days ago, I'm blown away at how much he's accomplished.
I think Tom's really stoked. The roofline matches his drawing, I mean, almost to the T. So, I mean, what do you think?
I dig it. It almost makes you wonder why it wasn't built this way to begin with.
You know, that's one thing I've been saying all along.
It's very cool to see another artist take my artwork and make it even better.
And just putting it on the ground and chopping the top, he loves it.
Now that I see it here in person, I like it as a four-door.
Do you like my lowering kit so far?
What'd you do?
Well, I lowered it, right? Isn't that how you do it?
Yeah, you just took the wheels off?
That's about it.
That's one way to get it down.
Yeah. So it won't be this low, obviously. I'll have to figure out what to do with the springs. I'm thinking about just torching the springs and putting some blocks in the back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If this thing runs, then you're kind of ready to go. We'll make the brakes work and hopefully it starts up. Don has been pretty good about that. He's pretty mechanically minded and he says it runs. He had it running a few years ago, so.
Okay, good. Be the coolest family on the boulevard, I tell you what.
He really wanted a big old chop top lead sled. He's got it. I stopped on these roof panels. My next step is to throw them on the English wheel and get these guys tacked in. I got a way of doing things by myself, but hey, there's another body in the room. Get to work.
To be able to work with Ian today is a real special treat.
This is a really complex thing, creating a big roof for a chop top car. The whole thing is establishing this nice roof line. I want to minimize the amount of body filler in the end. So it's really just like push it, hold it into position, and tack weld it so it stays. You know, it's the stuff you read about in magazines. So I stuck them in the car and had them hold up the sheet metal. I would have to come up with a bunch of weird contraptions to hold it in place. Here he is doing it. He was pretty excited. Pretty good. Yeah. Getting the sheet metal tacked in place, that's it. That's the car. The line of it's established. It's just a matter of finish work. If you like it, here we go. I'll put it all together and on to the next.
It's a killer chop.
We got the chop top nailed. It looks great. There's still a lot more. One of the defining factors on getting this project was that Don says it's mechanically sound, you know, it's a runner. I gotta get some electricity and some fuel to this and be sure that it's gonna go down the road. This car is ancient. It looks like an Egyptian tomb under the hood, man. Well, it gets spark. Something happened. That's a good sign. So I'm pretty surprised that this thing fired up like it did. It purrs. It's an old engine, but it runs great. We gotta pick up the dust somehow. So this roof is bondoed out for 3 full days. I got just a little over 2 gallons of Bondo on it. So I had to make the whole thing flow into one nice dome. And I think I did that. It looks pretty good. So the last part of the equation is these door frames. This is the trickiest part of the whole deal. And to sum it up is if people can't figure out where you cut it, then you succeed. Just building stuff that you haven't done before, it's just the adventure of it, you know? It's like I want to come out successful in everything I'm doing, but also the spice of it is getting that agitation of not knowing. I was so bummed out when I started this project. I can't put in words how disappointed I was at the selection I had made. But I think this thing's gonna be all right. I'm looking to get a 4-inch drop out of it, easy. Everything is rusted, stuck, typical scene. I always hate this part of the job. In case you're wondering how my nose got so rearranged, doing exactly this. No joke. The coil spring shot out of the car, hit me in the face. That's a big piece of metal that hits you in the face, huh? This is the old school lowering technique. Before there was all these fancy kits and airbags and yada, 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 you would cut the springs or you would heat them with a torch. Those were the options. So I'm doing it just like they would have done it back in the day. So I started off by cutting just about 2 coils off, a little bit more. It's hard to say exactly what the drop's gonna be until it's installed back in the car because the spring rate changes, you really can't calculate it. So I'm just gonna cut both springs to match and set them in the car until it looks the way I think it should. That's what I'm talking about. It makes all the difference. It's a pretty serious family car, that's for sure. Makes me want to have a couple kids. This thing's pretty much wrapped. I'm excited to see Tom's reaction when he sees it. There's a lot of work getting the car to a finished state. I really busted it out. I can't wait for Tom to see it, so I'm really excited for him to check it out. It's like his idea come to life. We're ready, man.
Oh,
Check it out.
oh man. You're kidding, right?
It's the real deal.
Wow. Ian, man, that is one gorgeous machine. Look at that. When I first walked in and saw the Packard, I was blown away. It's amazing looking. It's actually a lot cooler than I could imagine.
The thing about when Tom walked in, the last time he saw the car, it was a shambles. I mean, there was just loose ends everywhere.
This is a perfect color for it. Holy smokes.
Yeah, you gotta see it in the sun. It pops pretty cool. I got this black cherry paint that complements it beautifully.
First thing I noticed when I walked in is the amount of time and work that went into it. There's a lot of customizing there.
All Tom's drawings were side views, so for him to look at it and see the angle of the A, B, and C pillars, it really meant a lot to him. I made these two taillights. It didn't have any taillights. Just kind
You
of
made
fresh.
those?
Yeah, I blew them out of plastic, kind of like mini bubble tops.
No, man, you're kidding, those are.
Because remember, it didn't have any lenses.
Ian tells me that he custom made these things himself. And I'm just shocked again. It's like, what can't this guy do? It's a cool car and I cannot wait to show it off.
This project is a great example of what I've been doing with my career. Just trying to be creative and push something further is what I'm all about. Just trying to discover new ideas. Keep the people happy, give them what they want, on to the next. My friend Tom's in the shop. We're doing a project, and he's talking about this car show he's got coming up.
Every year I throw an annual car show and it's a fundraiser to help raise funds to send kids to summer camp. I think if Ian shows up, it's gonna kick the attendance up a notch. It's 1 month away and I think you should show up.
I say we just build something. Like, just build something new and bring it to your show to reveal it. I think that would be a hit.
So I was thinking, man, it'd be really cool if Ian showed up to my car show, but now he's talking about building something. You're telling me that you're gonna build, that we're gonna build.
Yeah, you gotta be here. Tom's kind of blown away. So he's a little concerned, but I think we could do this. I got this potential up at my friend Bill's house, and if I can get that off his hill, I'll bring it down here and you'll see. He'll be totally into it.
I'm on board, let's do it.
Cool, you just
Sounds
gotta
fun.
be here. That's
I'll
all
be
it
here.
takes.
I guess I'm gonna be here for the next month building something with Ian. Hopefully we get it done.
I got this thing all cleaned up. It's ready to start work. Like any good project, the first thing you do is cut it up. This is a big old truck. I want to make it look more like a hot rod. All the dimensions have to be snugged up, made a little more low and streamlined. I think the coolest way to go about this is to use all the existing suspension components and reconfigure them, achieve the look I'm going for with the stock stuff. Tom's coming in to help me work on this. He doesn't know anything about my little hot rod project, except that I'm building something cool. I hope it doesn't freak him out, because we got a lot of work to do.
Man, this thing's massive.
This is the grand master plan.
Yeah, but where's the rest of the truck?
This is it, man. It's a truck, right?
Where's the rest of it, though?
It's outside, man. We got pieces.
I walk into the shop, and there's no truck. There's just a frame. The car show's like 3 weeks away. It's like, what's going on here, Ian? Where's the truck? Jeez, it's massive.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this together in 3 weeks with your help.
In 3 weeks, we're gonna get, man.
Yeah, all we have to do is build a whole truck.
That's all we gotta do.
I've done it before, man. We can make this happen. I'm not showing Tom the body of the truck yet. I think we should just focus on the suspension. I don't want him to get distracted. The suspension configuration is really the key to the whole look of this thing.
I'm excited. I'm big time excited for this big project. I have faith in Ian, so I'm just gonna follow along. I'm gonna see what happens. So is it cool to put airplane stuff on hot rods?
Yeah. You know that surplus place I love so much. They got all this good stuff. The lower arm on this radius rod needed a bend in it, about 90 degrees-ish. I wanted Tom to get on the machine and get a little workout, you know? Everybody thinks the fabrication is all glamorous, but it's also a heck of an exercise session. The last 2 pulls are really tough.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
The way this machine works is it increases leverage as you go around the dial. So Tom starts off, he's like, oh, this ain't no thing. I was like, keep on pulling, brother. You'll see what it's made of.
Oh. Wow, dude, how do you do this?
That's what I'm saying, it's freaking tough.
I've seen Ian pull tubes before, but he makes it look easy. It's not. It's not as easy as it looks. I win.
There you go, man, victory. Once I put the tubes in place, you could see it's got that look, that hot rod look. All of this is conceptual, but you never know till you try it.
If it works, yeah.
What do you mean, if? If it works, he's gonna eat his hat.
This hat? No, this is my favorite hat. I'm kind of skeptical. We're taking giant parts from a giant truck and we're trying to trick them out hot rod style. Anything could happen.
Drop her down.
Moment of truth, huh?
The big question in my head was, how is this gonna operate? Is it gonna swing smoothly through its arc, or is it gonna bind? Huh. Actually works. Oh, it totally works, look at that. And as soon as I stepped on the chassis, I could tell the motion I wanted to see in the shackles was perfect. You know, you're getting pretty good at this, Tom.
I'm learning from the best. At the end of the day, the work we did not only looks cool, but it's functioning perfectly.
On to the next. We got the front axle and the chassis pretty much nailed. I think this is a great starting point. I want to show Tom the actual truck body. Here's our truck body.
What is that?
Rolling it in, it looks just like what I saw up at Bill's. It's like a big rusty box coming at you. But once I explained, it's a 1944 Seagrave fire truck.
It's a fire truck.
Yeah.
Okay, man, this is cool. Man, it's got some really cool, just stuff on it.
Well, look at the front. It's almost like a Model T. It's like a roadster pickup.
Oh man, no, this is totally a hot rod. So I've never seen anything like this before. This is a 40s war era vehicle right here, and it's in our hands. So what are your plans with this?
Remains to be seen what it will become. That's the whole thing with just working through it. We just gotta figure it out.
Well, let's mock it up.
Up to this point, this whole project's been conceptual. The whole look of this project is how the body sits on the chassis. It's the look of the whole ride. So getting it in place, I could tell right away, and Tom agreed, this thing is way too tall. Look how freaking massive this body is.
Yeah, it looks kind of goofy up tall like that.
It is, it's way too tall. My initial thought was this was gonna be kind of a highboy style, real old school look on top of the frame rails. As soon as it was in place, I could tell it was not gonna be okay. Now you're talking hot rod. That's perfect. What do you think about that, Captain? Is that gonna work?
Yeah, man, now it's looking like a hot rod.
The thing with getting the body in place is now we can kind of mock up what the wheelbase is gonna be. So in order to do that, we got the engine in place. It's a 454, it's a big block Chevy out of an old 1-ton dually I had. It's a great running powertrain. After that, we mocked up the bedsides. I knew right off the bat that these bedsides were way too long. I had my own vision of what this was gonna be. I also brought Tom on board because I wanted to see what his vision was gonna be. Groovy. I think we're onto something, man. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's too long, it's too boxy. Something's just not right. Something's got to be done here.
You're right, that bed's too long. Look, this comes apart right here. So we could ditch this upright, make a new one, and just cut it somewhere in here and hide it with the tire, hide the seam with the tire. Wait till you see how tall these tires are.
Whoa, man, look at those. That's a tire.
Yeah.
Wow.
These are the biggest tires I could find available for the street. They're off of a cement truck. They're just massive, heavy-duty semi-truck tires. I think we nailed the wheelbase, but I think it's time now for some conceptual sketches. Moving around all these parts is starting to get to me. It's heavy. Tom's a graphic designer, and just like I like to take cars and stack parts, he likes to take pictures of cars and manipulate them on Photoshop. At this point, we're still in the theory and design of the rear bed. Tom's gonna go back, come up with some ideas, and I'm just gonna keep on building. So Tom and I figured out the wheelbase on this. It actually looks pretty short in comparison to the original frame. The thing is making it strong enough to hold this massive rear axle in place. You can see this is no lightweight setup. I got a bunch of motorhome front suspension parts from Bill when I was up there. The front end of this big diesel pusher motorhome had an airbag suspension, and these were the components that held the axle in place. The cool thing is I want to take the front suspension parts and convert them to the rear suspension. In looking at this kit, I can tell it's not going to work for the ride height that I'm choosing. I think that if I flip over some of the components, turn it upside down, and reattach it, and do some other formulating, it just might work. Just like the front suspension, I got to do a bunch of welding just to see if this thing works. The whole concept with the rear suspension on this truck is slammed, super low. It's gonna have airbag suspension, so the frame needs to be really modified. My plan for this is to build like a miniature tube chassis just on the back. I got 2-inch round tube, 1/8 wall, DOM, super strong stuff. So I'm gonna create a shape that goes up over the axle, back around, and reattaches to the chassis. Bottom line with this design is that I'm gonna have to cut the frame right off. This whole chassis design's really high-tech stuff. I'm kind of doing a little behind-the-scenes action before Tom gets back. He doesn't need to know about this. It's all my brain work. When he comes back, it's gonna lift up, be ready to roll.
Hey, hey.
Aha!
Wow, man, look at that cage. Well, I was really surprised when I came in and saw the airbag setup all done. Ian grabbed the air hose and fed some air to those airbags, and up it went, and he released it, and down it went, and it looked good raised up, and it looked even cooler let loose. Yeah, I really like the way it's sitting, nice and low for something this size.
I'm all charged up about my engineering and chassis design, and Tom comes in and he's all charged up about his artistic interpretation.
So check this out.
That's freaking cool, man.
Did a little bit of photo chopping and
Yeah,
my rendering.
I like it. I was thinking like, you know, flat black or something, but you're talking about a fire truck.
Well, yeah, but it is a fire truck. Might as well
get it.
keep that coolness about it.
Sure.
This fire truck's from 1944, and you know, it's taken decades to build that paint job that's right there. And so I didn't want to mess with that. It looks cool the way it is.
Looking at this rendering, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want to build. Once you put the handrail on, you could tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
How we're getting somewhere.
And you were dead on about the amount we needed to take out of the back to make it look good.
This is gonna be cool, man.
Yeah.
Real cool.
The back piece of the bed has all the characteristics that tell the story of it being a fire truck. So without it, it's not a fire truck anymore.
This was a big step to get accomplished, but there's still something I'm not sure about. It's subtle, but in the end, it makes a big difference. The good news is, with all that past us, I got all this structure in. You can see there's gonna be a deck here. You could sit or stand. This is all 1-inch square tube. It's pretty thick, it's 13 gauge wall. So even my big oaf of a self can move around pretty easily on it without even having any wood. I'm going real simple on the interior here. It's gonna be wooden floors, just like a lot of the old cars. Cut some plywood, screw it down to the frame, and put a surface on it. Tom came in just as I was finishing the bed. I'm excited to see what he thinks.
Yeah, I noticed we got some wood going on here.
Notice anything else different? I need you to stand back and focus. Feel the force. Something changed.
I could tell.
I spent a lot of time on this, so I'm gonna let Tom stew on it for a while. There's something very different.
Besides the steering wheel being missing.
Yes.
Ian's telling me there's something else that he's done to the truck. I can't really put my finger on it. I could tell there's something different, but whatever it is, I'm just not seeing it. It's not popping out at me. Is it shorter?
I don't know. It's up to you to decide. I decided I had enough fun at Tom's expense, so I'm gonna tell him what went down. Remember how much we dug the bed coming in raked?
Yeah.
I made them straight. I took the rake out of it. Yeah, and I just relaxed the angle, and now you can see the bed is almost parallel with the door top.
It's done so well. You did such a good job that I couldn't even notice. It looks like this is how it's supposed to be, so.
Well, there you go.
Good job.
The first thing we did was set up the grill with a level across it, just to get a ballpark estimate of how much this thing has to be sectioned.
9.5 inches.
I'm thinking the same way we accomplished the body and the bed, we're gonna do the same with the grill. We're gonna cut off a little, fit it up as many times as it takes until it looks right. Well, let's shorten up the inside, and then we'll just cut the bottom off of this. I got plenty other stuff to do. I'm handing off the cutting wheel to Tom. Let him get dirty.
Ian puts that job in my hands, and I don't know, I'm partly excited. At the same time, I'm partly scared. Ian has, without a doubt, given me one of the most important pieces to work on. And yeah, if I mess it up, well, he only has one person to blame.
Hey, Tom, don't mess that up, all right?
Yeah, You know, I'm cutting up an old school grill that's really cool looking, and you know, that's a little bit of a challenge. It's kind of tricky. I hope that's what he wanted. I make my first couple cuts. We take it back over to the fire truck to mock it up and see how it's gonna fit.
So standing back looking at it, I think the height works. But I think that grill still has to come in.
Bring it in behind the axle.
Yeah, then it's gonna look like the suicide axle's proper. It's just still, proportion-wise, the engine, you're seeing the radiator, right? The engine's just kind of hanging in space. With the grill ahead of the axle, there was plenty of clearance for the suspension to move. But as soon as we wanted to set it back, the axle, the shackles, everything was gonna smash this thing as soon as it hit a bump. So I think the only way we're gonna make this work is to cut like a V shape in the front. I think my lines will make a little more sense this time. You wanna cut it, or you want me to cut it?
I'm letting you cut this. Ian lines it up for some more cuts, and this time I'm like, oh, hang on a sec. It's getting a little bit detailed here. So I hand it back to Ian and say, you cut it. I'm not messing this thing up. It's in your hands again now, pal.
I think all this cutting was starting to get to him. He was a little hesitant to go for the radical sectioning. Now he's even more hesitant to go for the V-cut, so I'm gonna pull a few tricks for him and help him out. Hopefully we got it right this time. We're running out of grill.
Set it up on the truck, and it looks great.
Right off the bat, it worked. It's gonna need a little more trimming, but this is the look. Yeah, now look at the line from the bed. It's all facing down. Standing back looking at it, the grill is set back inside the front tires. It looks like a mean machine.
The grill of a hot rod's a very important piece. You know, if you mess it up, it's obvious. You know, it's right out there in front. We cut a lot off of it, but it's still looking cool.
Tom's got to hit the road. There's a ton of little details to finish up. I got about 2 days to do it. Just gonna make it happen. My favorite thing about this is the transformation. You saw what was pulled off the hill. Look what's hanging out in the shop right now. Before I take this thing to Tom's car show, I wanted my friend Bill to come in and see the transformation. Hey there.
Wow, Ian.
Welcome back. I went for it, man.
You did. You know, typical Ian, it's amazing. He shortened it widened it, lowered it, resprung it, resuspension, and it's really amazing, really amazing. You know, when this was sitting on the hill, I was hoping that it wouldn't just sit there. I was hoping it would get back together.
Yeah, really the only part I didn't get from you was the engine, the headlights, and the seat.
It just looks great. I love the originality of the 1944 Seagraves fire truck.
The wood deck and the back step solidifies the fire truck look. All this thing needs is a couple firemen on the back step. Fire hoses are in place, it's ready for action. I got this thing wired up and fired up. It's driving around, I'm ready to take it to the car show.
Today, we're here at the CLA 4th Annual Spring Car Show and Fundraiser. We're raising money to help send kids to summer camp.
It's a total down-home community thing, lots of cool cars, barbecue, bands, you name it. Tom's put this car show on for a few years and it just keeps getting bigger and better, so to be a part of it and bring a fresh build out, it's super cool, helping out a friend. Tom hadn't seen this thing in a few days, so when I pulled up this morning, he was really excited to check it out.
Oh man, I was blown away. It turned out awesome, man. Well, this thing seems to be a crowd pleaser. People are digging this hot rod fire truck. They're loving everything about it.
I came out here specifically to see this car. What I like about it is he's not afraid to go with something big and bodacious. When people actually see it in person and get to see the tactile feel and see it roll down the street, but you can't help but to look at it and go, damn, that's awesome.
I just think the man's an artist. Just the total coolness of the whole deal. I was pretty blown away.
You know, every time I've worked with Ian, I bring something to the table, but I take something home too. I either learn something when it comes to how to build or artistically. It helps me grow as a hot rodder and a car builder myself.
Building a truck of this proportion is a pretty massive undertaking, especially in the time frame, but just like working out, you know, we got through this. It's on to the next, bigger and better.
Go Custom Garage!